The Thinite nobles still struggle to unite the lands of the Nile under one supreme ruler. To aid them in their cause, it is hoped that you will endeavor to establish a thriving community at Perwajit, in the humid delta region of Lower Egypt, thus spreading their influence throughout the length of the sacred river. To support a population larger than that of a village, you must learn to use agriculture. Egyptian farmers have begun to exploit the rich, fertile soil deposited by the annual inundation of the Nile River for growing crops. The Nile can be hazardous, however. Many dangers lurk along its banks and in its waters, such as deadly crocodiles, hippopotamuses, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes.
G'day mates, and welcome back to Pharaoh. As we head into Perwajit, we're going to be learning how to do some farming. I'll see you when we get in there. Alrighty, here we are, farming along the Nile. Now this is definitely one of my favourite mechanics in Pharaoh. Probably right up there with monument building that we will get to soonish. For now, slow time down and consider how we're going to approach this one. Now this is actually the second time doing this mission. The first time I ran into a bit of a bug where I couldn't actually get the entertainment up high enough due to high difficulties, hard mode, having a higher requirement for entertainment before people will evolve. So I'm going to see if I can manage to get around that bug this time. So let's set the city up. Okay, so this is our little basic village so far. We've got all the stuff in. People should be flowing in shortly. Immigrants will be coming in, and I've set up the bare bones of our farming. Now all farming is done through the granary as per normal. It's where food is stored, and you staff them via work camps. So we're going to throw down a couple of farms. We've got fig farms here. So we'll just throw a couple in here along, and the closer to the water you can get, generally the more fertile the soil will be. That should be sufficient. You don't want to go too far away, otherwise people will die when they get to the floods. But that should be sufficient there. We'll build up the road along like that. And there we go. Now this is not too far from my regular housing block. One of my favourites, again I've got two or three that I do like to use depending on my mood, but my favourite one tends to throw, I believe it's here, tends to throw a little road up there, and you can actually throw, we don't have one here, but you can throw a pavilion in there to provide all the entertainment that people will need. But we'll see how that goes later. Right now I don't have roadblocks, so this is going to be a fairly inefficient setup, but I will get them later in this mission. Okay, the first harvest is coming in now. We'll fill up our granaries, and there we go, we've unlocked industry. So industry is a good little money maker in most parts of the game. What you'll need it to do is to provide you with the materials for, give me a few seconds while I get my road set up, provide you the materials for evolving your housing. And I believe, actually I might have gone too far out here, I wasn't thinking properly, but clay pits, yeah I thought there was water down here, but, oh yeah, there we go, we can actually get clay down here once I get rid of these trees. It's a little bit difficult, but we'll get it there. Okay, let's throw down some clay pits right here. I reckon 2 should be more than sufficient. And then we'll use 2 potters for every clay pit we've got. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now of course we need firehouses and architects posts up here. And that'll keep us going for some time in the future. Unfortunately we are going to need to connect these, simply because of the way this mission is set up. We will manage to get, I have no idea what that message was. Let's have a quick look at employees needed. It's an annoying pop-up. Okay, what we will do, I'll actually connect that later. I'll put our storage yard here and get it to begin storing pottery. Let's go accept none except for pottery. So I'll get that to begin storing up the pottery as required, and then once we fulfill the next area, I think we unlock roadblocks, so I can throw that in and we'll be a little bit better off. Now we're definitely going to need a bazaar. Let's throw down 2 of them for the time being. Should provide us with sufficient food gathering. And apathetic, let's tell our industry and commerce to have the highest priority. So those guys should get it first. And I think we're also going to throw down just a couple more farms. Now again, closer to the river is the more fertile. You can see here, right on the edge, it's a little more grey. It's not quite as vibrant, lush and green. So that is less fertile soil. There we go. Now each individual farm doesn't use up any workers. It's entirely taken through via the work camp. Now let's speed on until we can evolve a little bit further. Alrighty, pottery has finally been stored. We now have gardens and municipal structures, and the most important part of any city design, the roadblock. With that, what we'll be able to do now is actually connect these up. First of all, before I do that, I will prevent these from buying pottery, just because we don't want to distribute it just yet. We'll do that later on. And I'll throw down roadblock here and here. There we go. Now that will allow the market people to come up here and grab stuff from there, but the actual regular market sellers won't move through. They'll only stay on that area. Let's throw another roadblock there and there. There we go. We are fully set up and prepared. Hang on. Actually, it's not good. We're going to need work people for down here. So how about we throw some houses up there as well. To keep them beautified, we'll throw in just a couple of small statues, and now they should have access to labour once these houses fill in. Now the real question here is, there's too little entertainment to be found in the location. The problem we ran into before, I don't think I'm going to need that market. Let's quickly delete it before that market lady gets there. Hopefully the food won't be wasted. Good. Now we can throw this booth down, and hopefully that bug won't rear its ugly head and they will actually detect that there is sufficient entertainment. Put our juggler school in and hope for the best. There we go. Now they should be able to evolve up to the highest level. It will... malaria? Okay. Let's have a look at that pop-up. So nope, wrong one. Basic healthcare. And this unlocks the next thing. Now, apothecaries, as they mention... Where are there? There's an apothecary there. Apothecaries are only required on missions that have... Let's have a quick look around. Any mission with reeds here, as you can see we've got reeds up here. They're the only missions that actually require apothecaries, to my knowledge. I could be well wrong with that, and we will find out in time if I am wrong. But my understanding is that is the only time that they are required. And since we have them, let's throw down an apothecary down there. That should keep us going. So we should have enough entertainment to level up. We don't, so there's too little entertainment to be found. As you can see, Booth and Juggler School are all I have. Now I attempted to fix that by bumping up to perfect coverage. The last mission I attempted this, I got up to 1,200 people, which was well and truly under my population. I got perfect coverage, and for some reason I still could not get enough entertainment. If anyone knows how to do this, by all means tell me how to fix it. I must be doing something wrong. But as far as I can tell, this mission is unwinnable on hard. There is not sufficient entertainment here to do that. I will run it for a little bit longer in the hopes that maybe, see if these ones here being right next to it will level up. But if that doesn't happen, I will have to turn the difficulty down briefly to allow me to pass to the next mission. And for some reason it is not ticking over. I don't know what's going on. I've built a few more things around in the hopes that this Beautify Your City will trigger it. But as far as I can tell, we can't get the 10 modest homesteads. I don't know what's going on here. So I'm going to attempt to throw down a couple more booths, and then we'll see what happens there. A booth for every man, woman and child at this rate. There we go. We have perfect coverage. 3 out of 3. Everyone, this is the best entertainment that the city can get. And yet for some reason, some of them do not have enough entertainment in the area. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to fix it. There appears to be no way to get around it. So definitely drop a comment if you know how to get around this. If you know what I'm doing wrong, drop a comment in. But as far as I can tell, no way out of it. Let's go down to very easy and see if that does win us the mission. Okay, there you go, and that is working. They now have sufficient entertainment, and all they require is a supply of pottery, and then they can move in. So if we go back to special orders, we tell our bazaar to begin buying pottery, and that will allow us to win. So I have no idea what it is exactly that triggers this. I think it's just bad mission design on the part of the designers, but there we go. We now have ourselves spacious homesteads requiring even more entertainment, which is the next level. And there we go, we have won. So no idea what's wrong there. Unfortunately, going down to easy appears to be the only way. Very easy, coupled with the fact that it will be with perfect coverage for the entertainment, and that gives you an additional 5 points behind the scenes of entertainment value. Let's proceed to the victory scene.
Superb. Your own citizens are beginning to look to you as their caretaker, and neighboring cities also hail you as a provider in times of need.
So, a bit of a messy episode there. Not really much you can do. Unfortunately, I do get the least difficult score of very easy. Please, by all means, drop a comment and let me know what I've done wrong. I can't seem to figure out any other way to beat that. I have tried, well, that's the second time recording it, but I've tried a fair few times off screen, and I don't recall ever having any difficulties earlier on in the game when I've played this, a couple of years ago now. So I'm not sure what the difference is, what is actually going on here. But if you know what's going on, do let me know, and we will power on to the next mission. I've been BLX said, this has been Pharaoh. Take care, and I'll see you next time.